What's up, YouTube? It's Pelfrey, and the end of an era is here. So earlier today, I started messing with that, and I could not get it reseated, which means now that I have water in the sump area, I've had water on the floor, and now I'm draining the sump, and I got the ink bird off because I got the heaters out of water, but I'm about to move the heaters up into the display tank, and I've actually got a buyer for all of everything that's in the tank here. So yeah, this is it. You know, this is something I've talked about for a while in my head anyway, about shutting the tank down, just moving on with it. As much as I love the Reef tank, don't get me wrong, it's just, there's a lot of other things going on, and I could utilize the little bit of time that I do spend on the tank. And for instance, I messed with this valve for like 3 hours today, and I'm just done with it. And soon, you know, there's going to be a lot more activities going on. It's just going to be even more difficult for me to deal with it. And even if I did get that reseated right now, the level of frustration that I had dealing with it earlier just doesn't make me confident that I would go to sleep tonight knowing that it's going to hold water. So I negotiated a price, well, I posted this on my local Facebook group, and obviously the store is wanting the yellow tang, and they're wanting the Colorado Sunburst Nemone. I get it. That's the two things that are really worth anything in here. But you know, I'm kind of stuttering here. I broke down different prices for different things, and my goal is I would love to just get rid of everything all at once, just because it's easier. And since I'm moving the heaters to the display, I've now lost the refugium. So that's the life support of the tank. And I don't know how long it's going to sustain itself without having the refugium online. Now, what I did do was, in agreement to the price that we come on all the livestock, so basically they're going to come over, they're just going to take the rock, they're going to get the fish out, they're going to be done. I told them, I was like, hey, if I ever get back into it, can you make me a deal on Colorado Sunburst or any other corals that I may be interested, or fish I may be interested in? Jeff was super, super nice, and he said, absolutely, we do that all the time for people. So he's going to grab the livestock, and I'll be parting out the rest of the equipment. And yeah, folks, this will be it for me and the Reef tank. So the video actually got cut off because they called, and I thought they were coming tomorrow, but they're actually coming right now. So within the next 2 hours, this will be gone. So stay tuned, folks, because it's coming down. This is for real. They're bringing me cash. They're bringing trucks and buckets and all that good stuff. So the tank is coming down. Let's pick up where we left off. So got a lot of equipment in this bucket. Almost got the sump fully drained out, ready to pull out. This is refugium water with a bunch of live rock in it. The company's supposed to be taking that chaeto right there. But I did get the heaters in the tank. They're heating the tank, making it happy. They should be here, I'm thinking, pretty soon. But one of the most important things to me, and I'm going to talk about this without trying to get too emotional, but one of the people that I come really close with is Scurvy's Reef. And we were texting back and forth earlier as this whole shenanigans went on. And I told him, I was like, dude, I'm getting rid of it. Like, it's gone. Like, they're coming to get this now. So I was like, call me when you get a chance. So I just got off the phone with him. And, you know, we met because of reef tanks. But that, just because I'm getting rid of the reef tank won't mean that we're not going to communicate anymore. He really is a great friend and has supported me through ups and downs of my personal life, as well as ups and downs of the reef tank. So it is truly amazing. This is with any hobby, not just reef tanks, but any hobby you're interested in. Go out there and find people that are interested in the same thing that you're interested in, because you may find a really good friend out of the deal. Scurvy's been there for me for the last probably 5 years. Hey, I have this problem. Hey, do you have this piece of equipment I could borrow? Hey, I don't know. You know, I've asked and asked and asked, and he's always answered and done so well for me. And, you know, whenever I got off the phone with him, I made sure to tell him, look, man, I just want you to know that I appreciate you. The reef tank, just because I'm getting, my phone randomly rebooted, whatever. But the reef tank, just because I'm getting rid of it, doesn't mean that our friendship is over. I'm going to continue to rely on him for just little bits of life information. Really good dude. Appreciate you. I cannot say this enough. Cannot say this enough, Scarvy. Thank you so much. So anyway, I've got most of this drained out. Most of this drained out. There's the flame hawk, and I need to get this drained out and get this pulled out and get all this cleaned up. So I'm losing light because my battery powered lights that I've used for like 6 years now have been wonderful lights, but they're just not keeping up because I've had them on for so long today. But real quick, let's go to the garage. So as I've talked about, I've been running RoHFOS on my water containers to pull out phosphates. I made the mistake, well, it's a couple different things, but I ran RoHFOS like this deep into this reactor. Now I have bacteria in this reactor. And I don't know if it's because I don't have the lid on here, it's not airtight. I have no clue what's going on. And the sun sets in like this direction. So when we have this door open in the afternoon, the sun's not directly hitting this. I have no clue. So I am running carbon. You can tell the water's still cloudy. So there's just a couple of things that have happened throughout the course of the last week or two that have pretty much just given me the information that I've needed and asked myself for the last year. And I don't know, folks. So does this mean that I'm done with reef tanks? Matter of fact, no. I've looked for like nano tanks for a long time, and I really wanted to keep the scalemia, the hammer that I lost, the recordias, because those are the first corals that I ever got. But I think just getting rid of everything, and if I do get a 10 or 20 gallon tank sometime down the line, I could start off fresh how I want to. It's not going to be this big, and this is a nano tank in my eyes, but it's not going to be this big. It'll be a lot smaller. I'm happy. I'm sad. There's a lot of mixed emotions going on right now. And it's weird because in my previous videos, I'm talking about all these things that I'm doing, I've got going on, but you know, it's kind of one of them things where in my head, I've had these thoughts and I'm probably just rambling on now. So yeah, just kind of, at this point, it is what it is. Little update. Finally got everything out of the sump area. All out. Bunch of equipment here. Back to the dirty water there. So yeah, sump area is cleaned out for the most part. Still getting some of the water out, but I don't think it's going to be a major issue. And then out here, we've got the ATO sump, nasty, so it needs a really, really good clean. The reactor, yeah, you know, and truth be told, my oldest a second ago got a little emotional about the tank being tore down, and I get it. I set this up right before she was born. She's seen it her whole life, and it's time to get rid of it. So it's equally as emotional for me, but it's just, you know, as I've gone on multiple times, it's just time. So what do? I didn't record while Whitland was here pulling out everything on the tank, but this is real, guys. So basically I have a bunch of wires over here. I've got the equipment cabinet cleaned out. Some of the wet stuff in this 10-gallon brute. I vacuumed the tank out, and I'm actually going to fill it up with water and vinegar, get everything cleaned out, and I'll only fill it up to like here, so there will be just a little bit of dirty stuff in here for the next owner. But I got the radions off the tank, and I'm sure by the time you see this video, most, if not all, of the equipment will be sold, just because I got like 6 videos ahead of this one. But yeah, this is absolutely a real scenario, and I've said it all throughout the video. It's bittersweet, but I'm actually looking forward to it. Now, what's gonna kind of suck is this is where I sit in the evening, and normally those radions should be lighting up what I would consider a beautiful tank. But in this case, they're not anymore. Whew, you know, I do get choked up in my 5 5.5-year-old is tore up completely about this because it's all she's ever known. I set this tank up right before she was born. It's always been there, and now it's gone. But she said, Daddy, we get rid of the fish, can we get a puppy? And I said, of course, sweetheart. So we got to run that by mommy. We got to run that by mommy and see what her thought process is on that scenario. And me personally, I've never really had a dog. I say really because the one dog that I had, we bought it. It was an older dog, and it was a pain in the ass. It was an asshole. It bit me. I didn't like it. But a puppy, we could either take it to school and get it trained, or I can train it myself. I'm never been in the military, but I can be considered militant from time to time. So, but yeah, this is real, folks. I mean, it doesn't get any more real than this. And it's still, I know I've said it multiple times, it's still sad to me. So, you know, hey, we'll just see what the next chapter holds. But as always, I appreciate you following along. You could go to the website. There's probably not going to be much there anymore because I'm out of the hobby. You can follow me on Instagram if you want, but again, I'm out of the hobby, and it's so depressing to say that. But for all the people that have followed me for so long, and for the new people, I appreciate you. I love you, and tank on. Without me, of course.